Have you ever laid awake at night with your heart pounding, wondering, what if I'm not good enough? If that's true for you, you're not alone. A teacher named Chandler inside my Ready for School Academy recently asked, how do you deal with the anxiety telling you that you won't be good enough? I've even had nightmares that I'm going to get fired after 1 month. Now, if you've ever felt this too, I want you to stay with me because I promise that what we're going to talk about could change the way you deal with that voice in your head for good. Because here's the truth about worry. I want to start by saying this. Chandler, the fact that you're asking the questions means that you already care deeply. And that awareness that you have, that courage that you have to ask those questions, that's what makes a powerful teacher, an empathetic teacher, a teacher who really cares. And here's the real truth. For so many of us, this fear, this anxiety isn't just about teaching. It's a pattern. And I call myself a recovering worrier. I used to think worrying meant I was being responsible. And I told myself, if I don't worry about this, it's not going to get any better. But eventually, I learned something really important. And if you're multitasking, come back to me. This is so important. Worrying is not the same as problem solving. One is a loop, and the other actually moves you forward. And here's the thing. I've said this so many times. What we focus on expands, right? So if you think of worrying like planting a seed in the ground, if you keep watering it, if you keep giving it attention, emotion, and time, it grows. And before you know it, that one tiny worry has turned into 5 more, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you can't sleep. But here's the magic shift, because what you focus on expands. If we focus on fear, we're going to get more fear. If we focus on what's working, you're going to start feeling more capable. And yes, I agree, it's hard, especially for new teachers because there's so much unknown. But learning to redirect our attention is like when we're addicted to junk food, right? Retraining yourself to choose the apple over the cookie because you know it's healthier for your body. And the cookie's tempting, right? Worry is familiar. But that apple actually nourishes you, and the focus on positive and on things that are actually working is going to strengthen you. So the thing is, worry is not just emotional. Worry is actually physical. We often think worry is just in our heads, but it shows up in our bodies. It shows up in our tight shoulders, headaches, maybe stomach aches, upset stomach. That's not in your imagination. That's your nervous system saying, I can't carry this load. So when you feel overwhelmed, remember, worry isn't just a thought. It creates real stress, dis-ease. You've probably heard that before. And that stress can turn into burnout or disease if we don't learn how to shift it. So we need to get into a better thought habit. Here's what helped me the most. Practice imagining best case scenarios. So your brain is already rehearsing the worst. And the trick is to flip the script. So instead of asking yourself questions like, what if I fail? Try, what if I surprise myself? Instead of, I'm not good enough, try, okay, I'm learning, and that's more than enough. I'm going to figure this out. Feel how different that feels in your body. And also remind yourself of what you've already overcome. You've graduated. You student taught. You figured out so much in your life already. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. And a lot of times that fear, that anxiety comes from thinking we're brand new. You're not. This is not the first time you've taught. You already have experience. Even though now you're a full-time teacher, you've had tons of experience already. So let's talk about 3 tools we can use when we actually have worry taking over. The first tool is movement. I want to encourage you to go for a walk, to dance it out if that's your style, to stretch, just move. It literally interrupts the loop and gets you out of your head and back into your body in a more positive way. The second thing you can do is, you've probably heard this before, relaxation and reset. So you don't have to meditate perfectly. I have a hard time meditating. I have a hard time sitting still. But focus on breath work, just breathing, listening to calming music if that works for you. Practice sitting in stillness, because that space is where solutions start to show up. It's literally why I created the Mind Spa inside the Classroom Management Club, because you can train your brain to choose peace over panic. And it takes practice, but like anything, what we repeat becomes our reflex. You're already in the habit, in the reflex of negative, worrying. If you're like me, that was my habit. I might be projecting a little here, but all of the worry, all of the negativity. But when we practice the reflex of, I'm going to choose a better feeling thought, and that becomes the regular reflex for you, you're going to feel so much calmer and so much lighter. And then here's the third tool, which I love if it's in the middle of the night. I want to encourage you to practice flipping the script. Okay, so you're already awake anyways, right? You're not getting any sleep. So use this time more productively to start imagining best case scenarios and practice imagining best case scenarios instead of worst case scenarios. And when you keep practicing this, you might be surprised by how creative your imagination is and by how the great ideas start flowing as a result, because you take that pressure off and you stop focusing on this bad, negative, and you lift it into, what if it went well? It doesn't feel comfortable. Anything new does not feel comfortable. It feels uncomfortable, but it's a practice. You're awake anyway. You're driving yourself crazy anyways. Why not practice something that's going to actually be helpful for you? So if you're feeling that fear of not being good enough, here's what I really do want you to remember. You are not your thoughts. You are not your worst case scenarios. You are a teacher in progress. And the fact that you care so much is proof that, honestly, to me, you're going to do just fine. The most powerful teachers are the ones who still are learning, who are growing, who are asking brave questions just like you. And it's going to be an amazing model for your students. So if this spoke to you, if you loved this content and you want more like it, leave a comment. Let me know what you're taking away from this. Also, let me know what you'd love to see in future videos. If you have a question that you'd love answered. And don't forget to subscribe for more support as you navigate your first years of teaching. I always love coming up with new surprises and new ways to support you on this channel. You never know when I'm going to be acknowledging and celebrating a member of our Ready for School Academy. And if you want some help, if you're a brand new teacher and you're like, oh my gosh, like I need help with preparing for the school year, save your seat for my free class, How to Get Ready for the School Year in 5 weeks or less. We're going to talk about exactly what you need to do to feel fully prepared and confident for the school year. The link is below. All right, my friends, you've got this. And until next time, remember, just because you're a beginning elementary teacher, there is no need for you to struggle like one. Bye for now.